Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be lecturing you in a topic in biology, which is known as transport system. Actually, when you hear about transport system or when you hear the word transport, transport means to move people and materials from one place to the other. Now, transport system in biology, what does it imply? Well, since we now get the concept of transport, then what's a system? That was the second question. A system is a group of organs which are performing the same function. Generally speaking, we have many systems in biology, or we have many systems in our body. We have the immune system, we have the skeletal system, we have the nervous system, we have the hormonal system, we have the respiratory system, excretory system. But the one which I'm going to be laying more emphasis on is going to be what? On transport system. Transport system, by definition, is simply the movement of metabolic materials from one place to what? To the other. Movement of metabolic materials from one place to the other. Now, materials. Which kind of materials are being moved around our body? That should be the what? Next question. Generally speaking, we have materials, or there are many materials that are moved by what? By that are moved in the body, ranging from glucose and sugar. We have the hormones, we have the fats, we have proteins, we have the red cells, the blood cells, and other substances that are being moved throughout the body. Transport medium. Yeah, generally speaking, a transport medium is simply a kind of substance that normally carries this material around our body. Generally speaking, we have about four of them, but two are more likely attributed to animals. We have the blood, which is a very common transport media, and we have the lymph, which is another example of what a transport media. Then you can have the cell sap or latex, usually in the cell, and that is more commonly in plants. Now, why do we need a transport system? That's actually the next question. Why do we need a transport system? Well, I'd like to give a very short analysis. Take for instance, after eating, as in you as a normal human being, on the process of digestion sets in. When food are digested, our body cells, which are the unit of life, requires all these food substances for their metabolic, or for their life activities or life processes. How do these substances get into our cells? These substances have to be moved by what? By some kind of substance, or some kind of materials, so that they will get to where they are needed. For this reason, we require a transport system. We require a transport system to move essential materials from areas where they are produced to areas where they are needed. Now, we should recall that a system is made up of what? Organs. Organs are made up of what? Tissues. While tissues are made up of what? Cells. Now, what makes up our transport system? That's going to be what the next questions. Generally speaking, we have the heart, which acts like a pumping machine, or a powerful pump that pumps certain substance throughout our body. The substance that is being pumped continuously throughout the body is what? Is the blood. The blood is constantly being pumped throughout the body. It is inside this blood that materials can move from one place to another, because materials normally moved in the dissolved form in the body. Now we are going to be giving analysis of the blood, which is a common transport media, the lymph, which is another example of a transport media, and the heart, which is a powerful pumping machine. Well, I like to start with blood. Blood, that's the kind of red colored fluid that is found, especially when you have a kind of cut on your body. The blood is a tissue fluid it is made up of cells, two or more cells performing a common function. That's what we make reference to as a tissue. The blood is made up of two major aspects. 55% is the blood plasma, which is a colorless or a yellowish liquid, and the other 45% is the blood cells. Note the living component of our blood is what is the blood cell, while the non-living part of our blood is the what is the blood plasma. Our blood cell is made up of three. We have the red blood cells, also known as the erythrocytes. We have the white blood cells, known as the leukocytes, and we have the blood platelets, which are known as the thrombocytes. For our blood plasma, it is made up of 90% water, 7% protein, and 3% digested nutrients. Red blood cells.
Can I ask a question?
All right, I'm listening.
How do we our injuries in our body? How does it heal?
Yeah, healing process of most injury. Well, I will have to attribute that to the role that are being played by blood platelets, or what we know as thrombocytes. Well, I guess I should be discussing that whenever I'm treating blood cells. But if you want me to discuss that now, no problem. How does it happen? Whenever there is a cut, or before this happens, we have to have some special knowledge of what the living component of the blood. Number one, we have the red cells, which are the most dominant. About 5.5 million red blood cells in a cubic millimeter of blood. The function of our red cell is to carry oxygen around the body. They carry oxygen from the lungs through to the body cells that are in dire need of these essential gas. Then we also have the white blood cells. This acts as defense, that is, they defend the body against foreign invaders. And we have about two types of them. We have the agranulocyte and we have the granulocyte. The agranulocytes are also divided. We have the eosinophil, mesophyll, and basophil. Then the granulocytes are also divided. We have what we call the phagocytes, and we have what we call the lymphocyte. Then the blood platelets are actually fragments, and they are the smallest, if I'm not mistaken. The blood platelets normally play important role in blood clotting, which is one of those things that happens whenever you have a cut. How does it happen? When there is a cut in your body, our circulation system is pretty airtight. But when there is a cut, it becomes exposed to air. Consequently, her thrombocytes is being triggered, which is the blood platelets. These thrombocytes that is being triggered as a result of air exposure is made to secrete an important enzyme. This important enzyme is actually called a prothrombin. Prothrombin is in the inactive form and is converted into thrombin. Thrombin, in the presence of calcium ion, which is a very vitamin mineral that we need in our body, in the presence of calcium ion, thrombin is converted into thrombokinase or thromboplastin. This thromboplastin will now convert a soluble blood protein, which is called fibrinogen, into an insoluble blood protein known as fibrin.
So which one is the active and inactive?
When something is active, it means that thing is functioning, that thing is working. When something is inactive, it means that it is not working. Get it? Don't get it twisted. If one of these factors are active in our body, we should have been having a problem. That is, if, for example, let me say, if thrombin is active in the blood cells or in the blood, then there will be a problem. You can be having clotting, and whenever you're having a clot, probably maybe in your heart or in your brain, you suffer from severe disease. For example, when you're having a clot of blood in your brain, you can suffer from stroke. If you're having a clot of blood in your heart, you can suffer from heart attacks or coronary diseases. So all these things must not be active in the normal human being. They must be in the inactive form. It's only when there is need that's when they will be activated. Now, as I was saying, thrombin we now convert prothrombin is converted into thrombin. Why thrombin is being converted into thromboplastin in the presence of calcium ion. Then consequently fibrin, which is an insoluble blood protein, has been converted into an insoluble blood protein, probably from fibrinogen. Now, this is just the essence. Fibrinogen is converted into fibrin. Fibrin is a mesh, or is a strand is a strand that can trap blood platelets. All these are happening at the site of the injury. when you have all this at the site of the injury now, you have a cloth or you have a scab. When this scab that you have will prevent further loss of blood, and at the same time it will prevent diseases from entering your body, because along with blood platelets, and we also have white cells that have been trapped in your blood and in your scalp. All these will lead to further healing of wound. Then there is this another important factor which is called plasminogen. Plasminogen causes your scalp to fall off. When the scalp falls off, then healing has been done. I guess I've answered you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Um.